Long ago, in the Roman Empire, a soldier named Lucius was tasked with leading a scouting mission into the wilderness beyond the borders of the empire. It was a dangerous task, as rumors had been circulating of strange creatures lurking in the shadows. Some said they were controlled by the barbarians who had been attacking the borders of the empire, but Lucius and his team were fearless and ready for anything. Lucius joined the legion originally to provide for his wife and child. Service was the only way to guarantee his son would be a Roman citizen and guarantee their safety within the walls of the Roman Empire. Even though Lucius missed his family every moment of every day, he found a brotherhood within the legion, proudly serving even through the harsh mission he was tasked with. As they ventured deeper into the wilderness, the night began to fall, and the darkness grew thicker. They decided to set up camp for the night, no campfire as to not draw attention to their position. The men struggled to stay alert, almost as if they were being encouraged to sleep by an unseen force. Suddenly, a vicious creature lunged out of the darkness, attacking Lucius and his team with incredible speed and ferocity. Despite their bravery and skill, Lucius and his team were quickly overpowered. As he lay bleeding on the ground, Lucius could feel his life slipping away. But then, the creature did something strange. It stood above him and spoke in an unknown language. It leaned in close and sank its fangs deep into Lucius' neck. The creature drained almost every drop of blood out of him. Weak and broken, the legionary lost all strength to fight. At first, Lucius thought he was dying, but then something incredible happened. He could feel the wound healing, and his strength returning. But something was different. He could sense an overwhelming sensation flowing through his veins, and with it came a strange new power. As the creature disappeared into the shadows, Lucius stumbled to his feet, feeling more alive than ever before. But he also knew that something had changed inside him. Over the next few hours, he buried his fellow legionaries, then he began to experience an intense hunger, and his senses grew sharper and more acute. Lucius realized that he had become a vampire even though he didn't know the name for it yet, cursed to roam the earth forevermore, thirsting for blood and unable to find peace. He tried to resist his cravings, but the pull was too strong, and eventually, he gave in. Feeding on barbarian tribes and hunters to keep his strength up. Lucius traveled back to the Roman Empire, but he found that he no longer belonged among his fellow soldiers. He was an outcast, feared and reviled for his strange new powers. Constantly accused of killing his team himself, his wife even shunned him out of fear for their child. Lucius chose to leave the empire and wander the earth, seeking out others like him and trying to find a way to control his cravings. He wondered if there was a way to break the curse that had been placed upon him. Lucius spent years wandering the earth, never aging and never finding the peace he sought. But through it all, he never forgot his roots as a Roman soldier, a husband and a father. Years turned into decades, and decades turned into centuries, but Lucius never forgot the night he was attacked by the creature that turned him into a vampire. He spent many sleepless nights thinking about the creature that had cursed him, and he longed for revenge. Lucius became an expert in the ways of the vampire, learning their strengths and weaknesses, and studying the ways they moved and hunted. He traveled far and wide, searching for any clues that might lead him to the creature that had turned him. Finally, after many long years, Lucius found what he had been seeking. He tracked down the vampire that had attacked him, a vicious and ancient creature that had been terrorizing the countryside for centuries. With a sense of grim determination, Lucius prepared for his revenge. He gathered all the weapons he could find, sharpened his skills as a fighter, and waited for the right moment to strike. When the vampire finally emerged from the shadows, Lucius was ready. He attacked with all the fury of a wounded warrior, driving his sword deep into the creature's chest. The vampire roared in pain and anger, lashing out with its fangs and claws, but Lucius was too quick and too strong. He fought with a single-minded purpose, determined to avenge the curse that had been placed upon him. Finally, after a long and brutal battle, Lucius emerged victorious, beheading the creature with one last mighty cleave. The vampire lay at his feet, its lifeless body slowly dissolving into dust. For a moment, Lucius felt a sense of satisfaction and relief. He had finally taken revenge on the creature that had cursed him and spent centuries terrorizing innocent people. But the satisfaction was short-lived. As Lucius looked down at the creature's dust, he realized that nothing had changed. He was still cursed, still trapped in a life of eternal hunger and darkness. He had fought for revenge, but he had gained nothing. In that moment, Lucius understood that revenge was not the answer. He could never undo what had been done to him, and he could never truly be at peace until he learned to live with the curse that had been placed upon him. And so, Lucius wandered the earth once more, still searching for a way to break the curse and find peace. But he also knew that revenge was not the answer. Instead, he chose to focus on the good he could do, fighting for justice and protecting the innocent, even as he struggled with the darkness within.